welcome one and all to the PooderooPlays Kingdom Hearts series. Here we're going to take a deep dive into the lore of the franchise in a multi-part collection spanning every installment. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy the truly fascinating universe of Kingdom Hearts.
Fun fact, it was originally developed for the PlayStation Portable, the PSP, then remastered for the collection. This game takes place 10 years before the events of Kingdom Hearts 1.5, but after the events of Kingdom Hearts Union X by about 99 years. The game is set around the lives of 3 Keyblade wielders training to become Keyblade Masters in a place called the Land of Departure. They are training under a dude called Master Ericus, who is played by an Archamel. They are about to take the Mark of Mastery exam to prove which one of them can become the Keyblade Master. Only Aqua is anointed the role of Keyblade Master after the exam, which goes horribly wrong because Ericus, no, the other one, Xehanort, Xehanort curses the little balls and messes up the exam, which sets Terra on a path to darkness. He's kind of like the Riku of this group. Then Ericus gets a message from the magic mirror behind the throne, which is his direct link to Master Yen Sid, who trained him and is, at this point in time, currently training Mickey. About the Unversed popping up across the worlds, everywhere, all of a sudden. And so he's gotten on the phone and he's been like, yo, Ericus, there's some shit you and your trainees need to go and sort out. I guess this would be a great way to see if any of them had the Mark of Mastery, click. And so he sends them out, but he puts a caveat on Aqua. He tells Aqua to watch over Terra, because during the exam he saw in Terra the marks of a dark Keyblade person. Ventus follows them against orders. He follows Terra and flies off when Terra leaves, because Vanitas, Master Xehanort's newest apprentice, has told him that something bad's going to happen to Terra, and that Terra just doesn't really love him. He's just in the way. Ericus is like, Aqua, you gotta not only look after Terra, make sure he's not doing any bad juju. You have to look after, you have to babysit, because I wasn't able to hold on to one person. Terra's ulterior motive was not only to find Xehanort, but hoping to have a conversation with Xehanort about the darkness, because Xehanort had previously told him after the Mark of Mastery exam that darkness isn't bad, it's strength, and you just gotta direct that strength in the right way. He's basically just trying to turn Terra bad. He can tell Terra is strong, he wants him to be as strong as possible, and that requires him not being very good. So they go across the worlds together, meeting all these titular characters from various franchises. They eventually meet Mickey. He was also sent to destroy the Unversed. During that this is all happening, Terra is being goaded by the villains of these places that he goes to do bad things, like Maleficent full-on gets him to take one of the 7 princesses' hearts, Aurora's. Aqua and Ventus discover this, and think Ventus doesn't believe Terra is doing bad things. He's just like, something's not going on here. Aqua's just full-on ready to throw Terra under the bus at this point. She's like, what the hell has he done that for? He must be a bad guy. And the reason why Maleficent goaded him to do it is because Xehanort had just goaded her into the idea of the Princesses of Light, which is why she was so easy to manipulate by Ansem, his Heartless, 10 years later in Kingdom Hearts 1.5. They meet up in Hollow Bastion, which back then was known as Radiant Garden. This is where you see the organization of what it was. They start introducing that certain characters have been here longer than we thought they have. So we see young members of the organization. So Lee and Lysa, who are Saix and Axel, running around as kids before they've even joined the organization, which they later do as teenagers. This is back when Ansem the Wise is still heading up the organization, but this is before Xehanort joins it, because at this point Xehanort is still Xehanort. This is where Evan, who is Vexen, he has an apprentice, Ienzo, who is Zexion, Lexaeus, I forget what his actual name is. All the other characters, they're just ordinary people. You don't see Luxord, Demix, Larxene, Marluxia, but you see all the other organization members apart from Xemnas, because obviously he's still inside Xehanort at this point. Kyrie's just a little kid at this point as well, and Aqua saves Kairi. She can tell that Kairi is a pure heart of light. After they meet up in this place, they fight off a powerful Unversed, and then Terra pushes them away because he's worried about his own dark powers. But he still wants to track down Xehanort and find out what is going on. And Ventus still doesn't believe that Terra's a bad guy, although Aqua is like, what the hell is going on? This seems like he's a bad guy. The three individually go to Destiny Islands, where Aqua meets Sora and Riku. Aqua can sense the friendship bond between Sora and Riku, and she likens it to Terra and Ventus. And Ventus also meets Sora and Riku, and he can tell that Sora is open-minded, and Terra bequeaths Riku the Keyblade. But before Ventus visits, he encounters Xehanort, who reveals his true plan, to use Ventus to create the Keyblade. And that Ericus had already known this. So Ven goes back to Ericus, and they have a confrontation where Ericus is basically like, I'm gonna have to kill you now. I never should have let you live in the first place, you're too dangerous. Terra intervenes, beats the shit out of Ericus by dipping into his dark powers, further straying him from the path of light. After the battle, Ericus is like, I failed you both, I'm so sorry. He's like, Terra, how could you ever forgive me? Before Terra can answer, Xehanort kills him. Then starts causing the darkness to eat the Land of Departure, which eventually leads to it becoming the Castle Oblivion. It brings the world into darkness, and later Aqua turns it into Castle Oblivion. He reveals himself to Terra and is like, look, meet me at the Keyblade Graveyard, and we'll square it all away. Just before Ventus heads to the Keyblade Graveyard, he meets Vanitas and he learns about his past, that he was Master Xehanort's original apprentice. Xehanort split him to do what Ventus never could do because he wasn't strong enough, because he didn't have the anger, he didn't have the darkness. And Vanitas tells him to go to the Keyblade Graveyard. Aqua is also on her way there because she has just learned about Master Ericus' death from Master Yensid, who she went with Mickey to go and find. And then Aqua later arrives, seeing the world in darkness. She picks up Master Ericus' Keyblade and she's like, right, I know what I've got to do, I've got to go find Terra and Ventus. Once they're all gathered at the Keyblade Graveyard, Xehanort reveals his plan to use Vanitas and Ventus to fight and get the Keyblade and then create the Kingdom Hearts, blah 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 blah. And he goes into the lore about the Keyblade Wars that we will learn about in Union X. The battle ensues, Ventus immediately gets frozen. He just gets taken out. Xehanort and Terra end up fighting, and for some reason, Vanitas is present during Xehanort's boss battle, even though he should be on the ground at this point dealing with Aqua. But anyway, apparently Vanitas can teleport.
According to Vanitas' page on the Kingdom Hearts fandom wiki, it is literally part of...
Oh, that's literally in his power set. He can teleport. Am I dumb? I am dumb.
Wow, okay. Me then, I guess. I'll just be a good little editor and keep my mouth closed, not do any research, and just make you look funny. My life.
Anyway, Terra and Xehanort do battle. He unleashes his full darkness in order to finally beat Xehanort, which allows Xehanort to possess him, becoming Terranort. However, Terra's armor, the Lingering Will, stays behind and whoops Xehanort's ass, weakening him and causing his amnesia. Meanwhile, Aqua is fighting Vanitas, and Ventus unfreezes just in time to take over and fight to save her. Vanitas and Ventus fight one another, creating the Keyblade. Then we have that whole thing, revealing that Vanitas was the source of all Unversed that they'd been fighting the whole time, the kind of heartless replacement for this game. Then Aqua faces off against a man called Braig, who is the original Xigbar, who was actually just buying time for Xehanort, but he was always a little bit mischievous. And I'm going to use the term mischievous because of something we will find out later. He's not necessarily a bad guy. He just aligns with bad people. Xehanort gave him the scar down his face and messed up one of his eyes. That's why he wears a eye patch as a member of the organization, but wasn't at the start of Birth by Sleep. And then Mickey helps her to defeat the now possessed Ventus. Ventus and Vanitas have their fight, they create the Keyblade, and then Mickey helps her whoop his willy light ass. His lily white ass. Aqua and Mickey defeat Dark Ventus as he defeats Vanitas from within, and they shatter the Keyblade, ruining Xehanort's plan for Kingdom Hearts. Ven's heart is lost in the process, and that's how he ends up finding Sora, who sends up his prayer and be like, bro, I've got you. The Keyblade erupts, sending Aqua and Ven off into space together, and Mickey rescues them using his little star zippy zip thing. He returns them to the mysterious tower. Aqua then learns that Ventus will not awaken until his heart is returned to him from Master Yensid, so she takes him to the room in Land of Departure, does the spell, makes it Castle Oblivion. She then heads to Radiant Gardens, beats the shit out of Terra, does the whole thing with the armor.
Rue glanced over a fair bit of story here, and forgot to film an insert for it, so bear with me. Terra's body had become possessed by Xehanort during their final confrontation, when Terra gave into his darkness in order to weaken Xehanort. Xehanort shifted into Terra, claiming his body and turning his hair white, becoming Terra-Naut. However, Terra's Keyblade armor, infused with his willpower, named the Lingering Will, stayed behind and beat Terra-Naut so hard that it caused them both amnesia. Aqua discovers Terra is alive and travels to Radiant Garden in order to try to get him to remember who he is. During the fight, the possession is revealed, and she fights to help Terra expel Xehanort. When Aqua almost kills him, Terra-Naut unleashes a dark attack that begins dragging himself and Aqua into the Dark Realm. Aqua uses her Keyblade to push Terra-Naut upwards and out of the rift, while she herself sinks further, eventually emerging in the Dark Realm, where she becomes trapped for a decade. Terra-Naut emerges in the town square of Radiant Garden, where he is later found by the organization. He shows great promise and is inducted into the fold and begins his research into Heartless and Nobodies. He studies with them for a while, has his disagreement with Ansem, then decides to split himself, anyway. Xemnas and Ansem the Dark Seeker are born, and they look the way they do because they are manifestations of Xehanort from inside Terra's body. During the split, actual Terra's heart is hidden somewhere, though Aqua is later able to contact it in another game, showing us he survived.
Terra-Naut, now without memory, is found by the Radiant Gardens ruler Ansem the Wise, and is recruited into the organization. A cutscene shows him living his life, working with the other members while they are all still human. In the secret unlockable cutscene, we see that Terra and Xehanort's hearts are fighting for dominance over Terra's body, and that Ericus's heart lies within Terra. Aqua encounters Ansem the Wise in the Realm of Darkness, so present, this isn't still in the past. This is after Ansem the Wise got killed in 2.5, and he reveals to her that hope still lives and lies in Sora, who is starting a new quest to save them all right now. Right this moment. He is learning from Master Yensid that there's peoples living inside his heart, yeah? But we don't find that out until the end of Kingdom Hearts Coded. That was what the letter at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2.5 was trying to get them to the castle to reveal. That Sora needs to go rescue them's people living inside his heart, kinda. Yeah, it's weird. So that's Birth by Sleep. Alright, so I actually, I left out quite a bit of Fragmentary Passage that I'd forgotten about. But I was correct, it was rendered on Unreal 4, and originally included in the Final Chapter Prologue collection. It takes place in between Birth by Sleep and the ending of Kingdom Hearts 1.5. Anyway, it begins with a cutscene 100 years in the past of a figure standing in the Keyblade graveyard holding Xehanort's famous no-name Keyblade, and looking up to see the real Kingdom Hearts. We learn from Union X that this is Lushu. When I do the Union X one, I'll tell you a lot more about him, but for now, just know that dude at the start of 0.2 is Lushu. Cut to present day, with Yensid informing the group, Kairi and all that, Sora and all that jazz, that they need to find Aqua, Terra, and Ventus. Stumped where to start, Mickey reveals to all that he last saw Aqua in the Realm of Darkness. Cut to Aqua while exploring the worlds that had fallen to darkness by the start of Kingdom Hearts 1, so the Princesses of Light's homeworlds. The ones that she visited in Birth by Sleep have now fallen to darkness because this is set during Kingdom Hearts 1. She learns that time does not flow in the Realm of Darkness, so what feels like a mere few weeks for her is in reality 10 years in the Realm of Light. She is routinely haunted by ghostly remnants of Terra and Ventus, and eventually has to battle a ghostly incarnation of herself, personifying her self-doubt. She eventually finds a ghost Terra that speaks to her and informs her that he is lost in shadow. On cue, he is replaced by Terra-Naut and reveals he is looking for the Chamber of Waking inside Castle Oblivion, where he thinks he'll find Ventus. He's not wrong! Soon after, Aqua is met by King Mickey, who is in the Realm of Darkness, because this is the end of Kingdom Hearts 1.5, and they fight their way to the door to darkness and close it, as in the Realm of Light, Sora is sealing the world's keyholes and Maleficent's gathering the Seven Lights. So that's why Mickey is in the Realm of Darkness.
To clarify, Kingdom Hearts 0.2's timeline starts just after Aqua has fallen into the Realm of Darkness after fighting and then saving Terra-Naut, an entire decade before the events of Kingdom Hearts 1.5. However, Because time moves differently in the realm of darkness, Aqua doesn't perceive that decade passing, and meets King Mickey in the Dark Realm as he is on his quest during the events of 1.5, when Sora, Donald and Goofy are sealing the world's keyholes and battling the Heartless.
They meet up with Riku and begin to close the door as Heartless swarm to attack Riku and the King. Aqua sacrifices herself and the two close the door with Sora, Donald and Goofy doing it from the other side. Then there's that famous moment where Mickey comes up with the Keyblade from Kingdom Hearts 1. He's like, "Come on, fellas!" So he does that. He does that to actually help Aqua fight off the swarm. But Aqua vows to stay in the realm of darkness and be a beacon for those who are lost there, similarly to Sora's own vow when he was a child about, "If any hearts need me, I'm your kid, I'm your boy," as she vows that she will one day see her friends again. The worlds are restored as the darkness in KH 1.5 is defeated, and Aqua meets Ansem the Wise at the ocean that meets the one in Destiny, the Dark Margin. This is the secret ending scene from Birth by Sleep I spoke about earlier, where she finds out that Sora is the hope that she needs to keep on going. Back in present-day Realm of Light, Riku asks Mickey why he never told him about what Aqua did. Mickey tells him, or Yensid tells him, it was to stop a botched rescue mission. That's why you leave someone in torment for 10 years, is just in case someone f***ed up trying to rescue them, you know? But he also reveals that there is a new, safe way into the realm, and that Mickey and Riku must use this to rescue Aqua in the events of Kingdom Hearts 3. Sora returns to be told he has to go and get the power of waking, once again, and decides to go and find someone who had lost and regained their own power, and to learn how. Hercules. He goes to the Olympus Coliseum. He and the boys hop in the gummy ship and after being told, "May your heart be your guiding key" by Goofy, who had apparently been told the same by Master Yensid, Sora finds a way to travel to Olympus Coliseum. And that's the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 3. I believe at the start of Kingdom Hearts 3 it's called Kingdom Hearts 2.9. Just that opening cutscene. But yeah, that's 0.9.
Thank you everybody so much for joining me as we explore the intriguing stories of the Kingdom Hearts franchise together. I have been your friendly neighborhood Pooderoo, and I hope you've had as much of a blast with this series as I did with making it. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye bye.